To our knowledge, this has never been seen before. There are big animals that live down there, and we're gonna have to lure them up.
We're in the middle of nowhere out here. Places where no one has ever cage dived before.
Gotta come up.
Whatever hit this tiger shark is big.
It's dark down here.
We are now at 600 feet.
Something feels a little weird down here. Could be a huge cannibalistic shark.
It's just black going into the abyss.
I can't see a damn thing.
Whoa!
Stand by, stand by.
What's going on?
200 miles east of Florida, in the center of the Bahamas, lies a massive, little-explored trench known as the Tongue of the Ocean. It is a deep-sea labyrinth composed of hundreds of twisting canyons and ravines, hiding a mysterious ecosystem that even the world's top marine biologists know little about.
There's so much to be learned there. 150 miles long, 20 miles wide. Pitch black. You have these underwater canyons, you have these underwater sort of seamounts that come up. Literally uncharted waters.
Reaching depths over 6,000 feet, it's a place where strange creatures and monster predators have adapted to survive in deep, dark isolation. But earlier this year, strange new evidence emerged from its depths that could change our understanding of this dark recess.
Early this year, we put out a bunch of tags on tiger sharks that have cameras on them, and it allowed us to sort of be in the tiger shark's perspective. We saw some pretty amazing things. We were blown away when we started seeing these tiger sharks doing these deep water dives.
This 14-foot tiger shark is one of the Caribbean's apex predators.
Around 600 feet, almost all light disappears. This is where it started getting really interesting. And the infrared sensor on our camera here turned on.
But at around 900 feet, it was assaulted by something much larger.
Right there, you can see the animal gets pushed and moving her 3 to 4 feet to the right. Whatever hit this tiger shark is big.
This female tiger shark weighs roughly 1,400 pounds. The impact of the assault knocked her 4 feet into the canyon wall, exerting a force of over 4,000 pounds, the equivalent of an SUV. An attack of this nature is all but unheard of. If Austin can solve this mystery, it could radically change our understanding of animal behavior at great depths.
There could be some type of cannibalism happening in deep water. Are the sharks down there to feed?
Could this enormous predator be an unidentified deep-sea cannibal, or perhaps an unusually large male tiger shark, controlling the feeding grounds and breeding rights?
We know the big ones exist. Maybe all along they've been hanging out down deep.
Austin is now leading a deep-sea expedition into the unknown to discover what is haunting the depths of the seafloor. Joining him is renowned shark expert Jimmy Partington. Jimmy has been tracking and documenting the massive great whites off Guadalupe for over a decade.
The big sharks capture my imagination. They're the ones that I want to find. And it seems that the bigger sharks are down in the greater depths. With new technology, cameras, subs, ROVs, we're able to go places that we've never been able to go before.
Also joining the mission will be researcher Christine De Silva, an expert in deep-sea biology.
We are going to a place where very few humans have ever been, an environment where you're not top predator. You're definitely a visitor down there.
The expedition will lead them into the furthest reaches of the abyss.
Tongue of the ocean. So it sounds to me like there's this insane marine park out there in the middle of the ocean, but no one has ever been able to go and explore it.
Although Austin knows the exact depth where this footage was captured, the tiger was too deep to get exact GPS coordinates. So to narrow down the search area, the team needs a new way to locate the lair of this predator. The Tongue of the Ocean is made up of over 100 different canyons, so they will need to follow a tiger shark into the depths.
We're starting out here at Tiger Beach. We're going to try to tag one of these sharks and see if we can follow it to the tongue of the ocean.
Tiger sharks are known to travel the same routes as they move about the Caribbean. So one of the sharks at Tiger Beach should be able to lead them to the deep-sea canyon where the violent attack occurred.
I've heard that it's a shallow dive, but I've heard that it doesn't take long for tiger sharks to appear. You know, and if we're going to try and tag an animal, this is the hotspot.
But tagging one of the most aggressive species of shark on Earth is not without risk. These stealth ninjas have serrated teeth and wide jaws that can dismantle their prey.
You look at the tooth of a tiger shark, it's like a mini can opener. Imagine that with a part of a human body, not a good thing. So when you're underwater with tiger sharks, you need to pay attention at all times, make eye contact with those animals, because if you don't, you might pay the price.
There have been a number of deadly tiger shark attacks.
It looks like her entire hand is gone.
They've been found with things like license plates, a horse's head, even reindeer antlers in their stomachs. Not picky about what they're gonna eat. They'll even eat other sharks, maybe even other tiger sharks.
The oceans, the animals, where we're going to be searching. My rule book might as well just get ripped up now because tiger shark's a very different animal to a great white. There's a lot to take in.
Eye contact is actually really important. These are really visual predators. It's kind of like this competition, and you sort of have that sort of dominance hierarchy there. Just keep your head on a swivel. That's like the biggest thing. We're gonna get down there. We're gonna try to get some big sharks to us. I think the plan is you're gonna distract it, and hopefully we can put this tag on the animal.
Diver Jay Malley will use a bait box to lure the tiger shark in, providing a window for Austin to deploy the tag.
With that bait box, I do it the same way every single time. I never try to bring the shark to my left. If you're right there on my right, I can bring her almost to you.
Yeah, okay.
Christine, we're gonna need you on topside comms so we will hear you.
Definitely.
Here are our eyes in the sky on this one.
Let you guys know if I see any big sharks heading towards you.
Get this job done, follow it into the deep.
Just be careful, everybody, please.
When I'm on the edge, will you hand me the camera and the tag?
They descend to 50 feet into one of the most active shark feeding grounds on the planet.
You guys do copy?
Unbelievable spot. There's tons of activity. Couple of tigers around 10 feet. Reef sharks and lemon sharks here as well.
Awesome. The goal right now is for them to put a tag on the dorsal fin of one of the big female tiger sharks we've got down here. When you're down there, you really get to see sharks' power. They really own their space.
In order to find where the sharks are congregating in the tongue of the ocean, the team is looking to tag the largest tiger shark in these waters.
Looks like 7 or 8 tigers. Jimmy, try to single one out for me.
Suddenly, a 14-foot female tiger shark enters the feeding frenzy.
Man, see the big one. Ready with the tag?
The mammoth tiger shark shakes off the tag.
Tagging one is gonna be really tough in this current.
The riptides at Tiger Beach can reach speeds of 6 miles per hour, which makes it difficult for the divers to maintain their footing. The sharks begin to swarm. Austin and Jimmy fight to maintain their position amidst the feeding frenzy.
I mean, it's hard even to get back to the boat. But that was like a sail. Keep your eyes on them. They're starting to get on top of us.
As they regain their position, they are surrounded by tiger sharks.
This isn't safe, guys. Just come up now. Contract's ready for you to come up.
Coming up.
The sharks are bumping the coast, plus the conditions are pretty rough.
And later.
Standby, just found something.
Earlier this year, video footage from the Caribbean's tongue of the ocean revealed a stunning assault on a 14-foot female tiger shark by a larger, mysterious predator.
Whatever hit this tiger shark is big.
Now, marine biologist Dr. Austin Gallagher and shark expert Jimmy Partington are on a mission to tag a shark and track her movements into the tongue of the ocean, where hopefully she'll lead them to the lair of the massive predator. But the rough current is proving challenging. Up against the changing tides, the team resets to corral the big tiger shark.
She's gonna double back. I see her coming.
Behind you.
Make sure Austin's ready.
The big shark circles around. The team lures her in.
Got it.
The first part of the mission is a success.
Awesome, guys.
Great job.
Contract's ready for you to come up.
We got the tag on. That was insane.
How many did you see?
Probably 50, 60 sharks. Some of the biggest tigers I've ever seen.
No way.
Woo, that was gnarly down there.
Nice.
If you're not paying attention, there's suddenly four there, you know? I think I had one here, I had to push it away, and then I turn around and there's another one.
Yeah, you gotta watch their behavior. You start seeing those fins turn down a little bit, the quick
Yeah.
movement.
When they come in straight towards you, they're asserting themselves.
The eye contact is everything.
Everything.
They were rubbing up against us,
Yeah.
and they rub up against themselves.
Not cage diving, is
There
it?
is no way, man. And they just come straight at you. These sharks are bold. They're all swimming over each other, bumping into one another. It doesn't matter. You can have four sharks on you in a second. Absolutely insane down there.
Thanks for distracting that one because Jay set it up with the bait. And you kind of got that one's attention. It came right down this sort of highway. Perfect tiger came right in, swam right on top of it, clamped it down, stayed on.
Great job.
Yeah, likewise.
It wasn't easy, man. There were some big sharks down there.
Let's get some of this gear off and
Yeah.
let's go check the computer and see if this GPS signal's pinging.
The tiger shark they tagged is a 14-foot giant, similar in size to the one from the evidence video. They hope it will lead them to the canyon that tiger sharks are using to enter the tongue of the ocean.
Tag that we put on the shark records depth, temperature, and location and stores it on the tag. After the shark dives to a certain distance and depth, the whole unit will pop off and send all that information to an orbiting satellite in space. Then we can put all the pieces together to identify the exact location where they are entering the abyss. Right after we tagged her, as you can see here, she moved about 25 miles south into pretty deep water and then straight shot east right into the tongue. And her last ping is 1 mile off of Chub Key right here, which I've heard is actually a hot spot for game fish and other large species.
Okay. What depths has she been diving to?
She's been diving to over 1,000 feet throughout this entire track.
She's actually staying in those deep areas, but she's not staying in one place. So I'm wondering, what is she doing? Is she feeding? Is she following a certain type of food?
The tiger shark dove to a depth of 1,000 feet and then traveled 17 miles into the deep Caribbean Trench.
A dive boat is just not going to cut it anymore for this expedition. It's not big enough. We need to upgrade.
The team will need a vessel equipped with the proper gear and supplies to chase this shark far from shore and into the deep.
The Go America is the perfect boat for this mission. This boat is insane, and it has an A-frame which can launch submarines. These subs go down to 1,000 feet, exploring vast areas of our ocean that we've never seen before.
This expanse is home to some of the most diverse shark life in the world. Silky sharks, bull sharks, reef sharks, and tiger sharks, as well as mammals, such as sperm whales and orcas, and the predator that assaulted the 14-foot tiger shark.
We're hitting this mission from multiple angles.
In order to get eyes on the ocean floor, the team will deploy deep-sea surveillance.
I brought in my collaborator, Brendan Phillips, who's a deep-sea engineer and ocean imaging expert.
We just deployed a couple drop camera systems, which are deep water baited camera systems. Here in the tongue of the ocean, it gets really deep really quick, so it allows us to see things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see.
Even though the tag that we put on the shark pinged right in the tongue of the ocean, this is a huge area. It's still a needle in a haystack, so we need to get into the water, get eyes on what's happening.
There are multiple canyons in this location, so the team will chum the waters to lure tiger sharks out from the depths in hopes of identifying where they are hiding. Jimmy volunteers to track the tiger shark's movements, and he's got a one-of-a-kind cage to do it in.
Jimmy has this crazy idea for this bait cage. It's a cage with a bunch of chum that drops down onto him. A little risky, perhaps.
I've set up this cage, and it's a half bait cage and half regular cage. I call this the Minotaur.
Named after the Greek mythical creature, this circular chain-link cage is reinforced with horizontal aluminum bars to help withstand the ramming of the hungry mass of predators. The top of the cage is designed with a bait box to lure the smaller sharks to the surface, giving Jimmy a 360-degree view of the larger sharks below.
The smaller ones, the lemons, the bulls, the reef, I'm gonna pull those up to the surface and allow me to have a look down into the depths to try and get a glimpse of one of these larger tiger sharks.
What do you think?
Well, it's very different to Tiger Beach.
Yeah.
You know, we're in the middle of nowhere out here. We're in places where no one has ever cage dived before.
Anything could happen out here.
My main concern is the sea conditions. At this point, it looks a little bit sketchy. In my experience, whenever goes wrong down here, it's always when there's bait involved.
Ready?
Good luck, Jimmy.
With over 200 feet of visibility, Jimmy should be able to see any tiger sharks that are attracted to the frenzy.
He's gonna cut me small pieces, yeah. They're all over that cage right now.
If we get something bigger from the deep, it might not even be attracted by just the bait smell, but also probably from the movement and all the commotion from the smaller sharks on the surface.
Giant lemons, bull sharks, and Caribbean reefs swarm toward Jimmy.
All sorts of energy being put into the ocean. They're attracted to that, and the tiger sharks will actually wait, usually a little bit deeper. They're much more strategic than a lot of these smaller guys. Beautiful.
How you doing now? You okay?
Dr. Austin Gallagher's recent video evidence suggests that tiger sharks are encountering violent activity in the depths of the ocean.
Whatever hit this tiger shark is big.
Now, shark expert Jimmy Partington is in the middle of a feeding frenzy designed to lure tiger sharks out of the dark. If he can identify which canyon the sharks are using as a route in and out of the tongue of the ocean, the team will have a location to search for the mysterious beast that's ruling the deep.
Jimmy, is everything okay down there? There's a lot of sharks around you.
We got lemons, we got reef.
Lemon sharks and reef sharks are tropical surface-dwelling sharks. They have small blade-like teeth, which can cut through the metal wiring of the cage.
Are you seeing any tiger sharks below you?
Getting lemons. Hold on a minute.
Yes, there's actually one giant tiger shark.
A giant tiger shark emerges, having used a canyon on the southwest edge of the tongue of the ocean.
You can see it down deep. She just stayed down there.
How big do you think she is?
It's hard to tell, but I'm gonna guess that she's at least 16 feet.
16 feet. Oh my gosh.
She is a big one, a serious animal. This is definitely a shark hotspot.
The tiger shark disappears into the depths of the dark canyon below.
Take it out west, slang it out west.
Giant isopods are crustaceans, closely related to crabs and shrimp. They can grow to be almost 3 feet and have 4 sets of jaws. Bottom scavengers, they can go years without eating. But when they do eat, they feast until they can no longer move. Gulper sharks are dark gray dogfish that live in depths exceeding 600 feet.
Wow.
Hey.
That's amazing.
Is that a 6-gill?
That's a 6-gill.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. That's
So
actually
cool.
the first
Pretty
time
big.
I've seen one on camera.
He's
Yeah,
pretty
same.
big too, I think, yeah.
Blunt-nosed six-gills are known as cow sharks and can grow up to 20 feet long. Little is known about this shark's behaviors because it spends most of its life below depths of 6,500 feet. But they have been spotted all across the globe, from New Zealand to Norway.
Look at his eyes.
What depth is this one at?
I think around 450 meters.
They're made of cartilage, so it's wild how much he just contorted his body in order to rip that prey off.
There's a lot for these animals to be snacking on down there. There's clearly a lot going on.
The drop cam shows an abundance of possible food for a large predator to feast on.
I'm pumped. You know, we know they're there now. We're in the hot spot. We know there's potential to pick up one of these bigger sharks on camera now, so let's get back in the water.
The canyons in this region stretch for miles. Any sharks traveling through them could disappear around the bend at any moment.
I'm going to go down to around 80 feet, pretty much my limit where I can remain safe with sharks down there on my own. Austin is going to get into the sub so he can chase after any sharks we might find. I'm going to be his eye in the sky and provide a second vantage point and point them in the right direction.
While Jimmy guides Austin in the right direction, Christine will monitor the deep sea cameras.
Nomad reporting hatch secured.
Jimmy will be dangling above a 3,000-foot drop-off.
As a scuba diver, I have limits to how far I can go and remain safe. I'm going to be pushing the limit. This is about as deep as I'm comfortable going down in a cage in these waters.
It's dark down here. Looking down, it's just black going into the abyss. There are a few silkies coming towards me. It's hard to make out much. Ready to go on the sub.
Ready for launch. Topside, hatches secure, and we are ready to dive.
There's a lot of sharks around the sub.
There's Jimmy.
Yep.
Topside, we got a visual on the cage.
Copy that, Nomad.
I was beginning to feel stood up there, mate. Do you see anything more down there? Not yet, but the little guys are taking off fast.
Topside. All of the silky sharks have disappeared.
There's a big moving shadow below me. Towards your starboard side. I can confirm this.
A tiger shark emerges on the deep sea camera. As Austin's sub approaches the edge of the undersea ravine, another creature reveals itself on the drop cam.
Austin, there's something huge below you.
Dr. Austin Gallagher's operation to uncover what attacked a 14-foot tiger shark in the depths is leading him into the abyss. As his sub dives along the cave wall, a deep-sea predator shows itself on the underwater surveillance.
Austin, there's something underneath you.
Another blunt-nosed six-gill shark emerges, this one even larger. Descendants of the Jurassic era, females can give birth to 20 to 100 pups at a time.
She's got to be about 16 feet.
The drop cameras are insane. They're so effective, and what they reveal is that there are a lot of different sharks living at depth.
This massive blunt nose is a sign there could be predators over 20 feet in the depths. So Jimmy returns to the surface to start prepping the next round of bait.
Tiger sharks do prey upon giant squid. However, it's going to need some sort of scent on it. To tow it down in the depths, we're going to try and trigger a reaction from one of these large tiger sharks.
Just beyond the canyon's edge, Austin awaits Jimmy, who will tow the decoy behind his sub as they enter the abyss.
Wow, silky shark buzzing us. Whoa!
Nemo confirming hatch is secure, life support systems are on and running. Press permission to open vents and dive.
We're throwing everything at this now. We've got 2 submarines, we've got a decoy squid attached to one of them. We're going into the hotspot, the areas where we know the sharks are hanging out.
Jimmy drags the decoy, hoping the scent will attract a deep-sea monster. While topside, Christine monitors the drop cams.
Topside, this is Nomad.
We have flight visual on Nemo.
You copy, Nomad? I'm right off your starboard.
All right, I've got a visual on you.
How's it going down there, guys? Yeah, this is Austin reporting in. We're at 100 feet right now.
Diving. Descending to 200 feet. Nemo is now at 200 feet.
There's nothing underneath us.
We are now just hitting 300 feet. Big indentations on the wall, steep sloping reef.
Just keep your eyes peeled, mate. The wall is just like a straight vertical cliff.
The subs reach a depth of 800 feet, around the same depths as Austin's infrared footage.
All right, Christine. We're on a shark stakeout down here. See anything on the drop cams? Negative.
The team sits on the floor of the ravine for hours, waiting for the massive predator to be lured to the bait.
It's creepy as hell. It's just bizarre. You're in this tiny little bubble. It's dark, it's spooky. Things just appear out of nowhere.
Soon, life starts to reveal itself.
Hey, we got a hammerhead.
You're going into areas that are really inaccessible, and you're going to another environment that really, you feel like you're on another planet. A ton of fish, a bunch of sharks.
The drop cams spot a salps chain. These bioluminescent creatures feed on phytoplankton and algae. They reproduce by cloning themselves, growing to lengths of almost 50 feet before breaking off.
Animals in the deep sea have had to come up with a lot of creative adaptations in order to survive.
The tongue of the ocean receives little to no sunlight in its depths. Some creatures have adapted by producing their own light in a process known as bioluminescence.
It's resulted in some very strange looking animals that we really need to continue studying.
Shark.
Judy, we just saw a big shark.
Yeah, I think it's over here, Robert. Got it. Heading that way now.
Oh, it's a tiger. See if she comes back. This is definitely the place.
We're gonna let it come to us. Absolutely pitch black, but it's become. You know that?
Something close to
biologist Dr. Austin Gallagher believes that a mysterious predator is attacking large tiger sharks in the depths of the Caribbean. The team is now hoping to get a glimpse of it as they wait on the ocean floor.
Please call out if anything appears out of the darkness, mate.
The drop cams show an abundance of deep sea life.
It's absolutely pitch black, but it's become...
Feel that?
What's going on, Andy?
Can you see the squid? I do not have visuals right now.
Are you seeing anything, Johan?
Got a visual? I don't. No, I can't see.
I definitely felt that.
Yeah. Right.
This is topside.
I can't make it out, but there seems to be a very active... Yeah, that's a tiger shark. Tiger shark near you.
Tiger sharks begin to swarm the ocean floor.
Something, if it was the bottom or something, I don't know what that was, dude.
The team maintains watch, hoping the massive shark returns. But the trench floor soon becomes quiet.
Let's get topside and review the drop cam footage.
Come to us.
Yeah, Austin, I got you loud and clear, buddy.
Topside, Nemo leaving bottom.
Whenever you go in a submarine, the technology is awesome. Every time we do a sub dive, we come across something new. So it's going to be fascinating now to look at the data. I'm super pumped.
We are servicing with you right now, Nemo.
Survived another one.
Cool to see you down there,
Yeah,
buddy.
I know.
Amazing.
Back on land. It looked just exactly like your footage.
These sharks were just bumping each other down there.
And the interesting thing is how well these sharks can just disappear into the darkness.
Exactly. So, I mean, we got to just look at some of the footage.
Sweet.
All right, let's go.
All right.
The team reviews the footage to get a better look at the predators lurking in the depths.
Pretty incredible stuff, guys.
I mean, it would just be impossible to do this in the past without this technology.
Okay, guys, let's take a look at what we got. Look at that. A blunt-nosed six-gill. Wow. That's a species we've never captured before on camera here in this region. She looks big.
Wait for it. Some other kind of shark rattles the camera.
That's incredible.
And then here's the big one. Jimmy, this might be the shark that brushed up against your sub.
He must be at least 17 feet.
Amazing. The drop cameras are insane, and what they reveal is that there are a lot of different sharks, even tiger sharks, living at depth. I've been thinking about this footage a little bit more, and I'm starting to think that this shark that got hit, this tiger shark of ours, could it be aggression? Could it be mating? I think no matter what, it's probably coming from a larger tiger. And that large male that bumped your sub is exhibiting territorial behavior. This might be the largest tiger shark mating area in the Western Atlantic.
From the bin cam footage to how we've been able to track the sharks down here, we've seen probably 5 or 6 other species and a whole lot of other individuals from the cage, from the submarines, from the drop cameras as well. Like, this is a shark hotspot.
The footage they collected of the tiger behavior has changed the team's theory, and Dr. Austin Gallagher believes this could be a tiger-shark mating ground.
We have some preliminary evidence to suggest that the deep sea might be a mating ground for the species. We don't have a great amount of eyewitness accounts on shark mating in the wild, so there's a lot we don't know. Mating in sharks is extremely rough, so it's possible that's what the bump we caught on camera was.
We're interested in solving the new mysteries of the ocean. We know more about outer space than we do the bottom of the ocean. Every single time that we use these submarines and these drop cams, we're making constant new discoveries.
The ocean is really an alien world. We've shattered previous conceptions. We now know that tiger sharks go deeper than they ever thought before. We did see a lot of territorial behavior.
The incident from Austin's previous research is most likely attempted mating from a giant tiger in the depths. A tiger shark king.
We're gonna do a lot more of these, and we're gonna keep adding to the story. I feel like we're getting closer and closer to unlocking the mysteries of some of the largest sharks on the planet.